Alright, so you guys clicked on this video because you are ass at shooting. Or you know what, maybe you aren't ass. Maybe you're just, super inconsistent, okay? Maybe, you have one game where you're 30 points, 4 for 4, 5 for 5 from 3, 5 for 6, 6 for 7 or something like that. Then the next couple games you're like 1 for 9, 2 for 7 and stuff. And you just can't figure it out, or you can't figure out why your shooting is so inconsistent and stuff. Now, this video is going to help you become a better shooter. Okay, now I'm going to put this disclaimer at the very beginning of the video. I'm not going to be giving you guys any jump shots. So if you're looking for specific jumpers, bases, releases, or anything like that in this video, you're not going to get that in this video because I'll explain why I'm not going to give you guys any jumpers or anything like that. Now, if you guys really want my jumper or whatever, or people are leaving comments asking what my jumper is, then I'll drop what my jump shot is. But just off rip in this video, I'm not going to be giving you guys any jumpers or any releases or anything like that, because that's not going to help you. Putting my jump shot on isn't going to help you, and that leads me to my next point of this video, because I'm going to make sure I put timestamps so you guys can jump around the video and get to the section or the information that you guys want to get to. So the next point of this video is that, throw out what any YouTuber says, bro. Don't listen to any YouTubers. I know that's ironic coming from me, a YouTuber who's telling you guys to do this and do that to be a better shooter. But trust me when I tell you, don't listen to YouTubers, okay? Don't listen to this person. Don't listen to that person. And I'm not telling you not to listen to that person because they don't know what they're talking about or they're not good at the game. But I know you guys are subscribed to a bunch of other players or YouTubers, content creators. You might be subscribed to a Shakedown or, a Brutal Sim, a Swante, a Nadex, or any of these guys, right? And they might tell you use this jumper, use that jumper, use this jumper, and it might work for them. And the difference between that, and the reason why I'm telling you guys to not listen to them, is because those people are playing the game probably 5 times to 10 times as much as you play the game, okay? Their skill level is way different. They have set people that they play with. They don't have to make a build with defense. They don't have to make a build with a high or low 3. They could do whatever they want because they have people that they play with. They don't need a build that has defense. They don't have to play both sides of the ball because they can have people with a dedicated lockdown that's going to play defense for them. You might not have that, okay? They might put in anywhere between 8 to 12 hours a day playing the game. They're naturally going to be better shooters than you because they're not only playing the game more than you, but they're taking more reps than you. They're shooting the ball more than you. They're playing a game, in a park game or something, where they're getting the ball every single time. So yeah, they'll have way more reps or chances to shoot. They'll be more accustomed to shooting in the park or in the rec or wherever they're playing because their team is feeding them the ball. When you slide into solo rec or you slide into park with 1 or 2 of your friends, you may not be getting a chance to shoot 15 shots or 20 shots a game for you to really get accustomed to the jumper, the lag, the latency, and all of that stuff. So that's why I'm telling you guys to don't really listen to YouTubers. Like I said, I know it's ironic coming from me being a YouTuber and I'm telling you oh, don't listen to YouTubers and you're going to listen to me. But trust me when I tell you that you'll be a much better for it. Trust me, okay? You're going to be a much better player. Figure out your own stuff. Figure out your own jumper and all of that stuff. You don't want to just listen to this person because what works for this person on his console with his internet connection, on the lobbies he get or the players he play with or against, it might work for him. That jumper might be too fast for you. It might be too slow for me. You know what I'm saying? It might, I might be able to get the Q time. You might not be able to get the Q time. So that's why I say you don't really want to listen to YouTubers or streamers or anything like that. You need to figure out what works for you. That's what I did, okay? I tried using the Steph Curry bases, the Kevin Durant bases, and all of that, the releases that people always talk about, and I just wasn't able to get the hang of it. Now, there are going to be, exceptions where somebody's going to give you something and you're going to be able to be like, oh, well, I got this jumper from this person and it worked and I was able to shoot. Yeah, bravo to you. Hats off to you. If it works for you, then you're not probably even watching this video. But for the rest of y'all that are still trying to figure it out and you're going through jumpers and stuff like that, yo, trust me, stop listening to them. And then also, please stop switching your jump shot after every bad game, bro. You're not giving yourself the chance to really get consistent or to learn the jumper, okay? When you first learned how to ride a bike or something, you didn't just fall off the bike and then say, yo, I'm going to switch and pick up a skateboard, all right? You didn't fall off the skateboard and say, yo, I'm going to switch and pick up snowboarding. You didn't fall off the snowboard and then say, yo, you know what, I'm going to pick up inline skating. You didn't fall off the inline skating and say, you know what, I'm going to get a scooter, right? No. You fell off the skateboard, you fell off the bike, you got back up, you got back on the bike, you tried to ride the bike again. Now, once you go 5, 10, 15, 20 games and you're telling me you can't get the hang of it, you can't get the jump shot now, it's okay. Now it might be time for you to switch your jumper up and go find something else. But, you know, to switch, yo, I went 1 for 9 one game. All right, I'm switching this jumper. I go 2 for 9 this game, I'm switching his jumper. I go 1 for 7 this game, I'm switching his jumper. It's not going to give you any consistency. You're never going to learn a jumper. You're never going to learn the cue because you're switching a jumper, which is going to mess up the timing. You're switching the cue, which is going to mess up the cue for when you're supposed to release or whatever. You're not going to have any type of consistency. So please keep that in mind when you're trying to learn how to shoot, okay? And that brings me to our next point of our video. And that's going to be your settings or whatever, your controller settings, really. And in my opinion, this is the most important, part of the video. That's why I'm putting it at the very top of the video. And that's going to be your settings. Your settings are going to be extremely important. It's going to be just extremely vital to you being able to shoot. More importantly, your controller settings. So let me go down here. And, you know, these right here is going to be really the main thing that you care about. You know, these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These 6 things are going to be the most important thing when it comes to just scoring and shooting the ball, period. You know what I'm saying? These are the most important things. I don't think there's really any settings down here. Those are just really HUD stuff of like, putting, stuff on your screen and stuff, all of that. This is just my passing settings. This doesn't really, none of this applies to shooting. So that's why I say you're only going to really care about those top 6 settings right there. And it's really going to be, this or really these 2 right here. You're going to want to have your jump shot meter off. Trust me, I play with free throw meter off, jump shot meter on, and layup meter on. I know some people like to play with it off, but the way the meter changes, the window changes and stuff, I like to just keep it on because, like, I just feel like I play way, way better with it on. You know what I'm saying? I can show you guys clips of me laying the ball out with the meter on, but that's I'm just rambling, okay? Jump shot meter off. Trust me, this is if you want to be a good shooter, jump shot meter off. Promise you, every streamer, YouTuber that you watch, all the top players, they all play with jump shot meter off. There's a reason why. Jump shot meter is just, you don't have to worry about it glitching out. You don't have to worry about it like shooting bounce backs or anything like that. It's going to strictly like be based on your physical release of the ball. So you're not, and I feel like the meter is kind of distracting because you're looking at the meter, then it shoots up, it bounce backs, it speeds up, it loads up or whatever, and then you're kind of so focused on the meter that you're not even looking at your player or his release or his form. So taking the meter off is very, very important. And then I would say, your shot time and visual cue is also extremely important. Now, I play on set point. I go back and forth between set point and push. I've tried release, and I feel like release is way, way too low. I was end up shooting like very late a lot, and I was bricking a lot of shots. A lot of my shots was bricks, or a lot of my shots was air balls because I was holding it too long. Because you want to hold this like way longer when you do release, and then push, you kind of hold it a little bit late. Because I think based on what Mike Wang said, this is very early, this is early, this is late, and this is very late based on the release timings of last year. So I don't really want to be shooting on very late, and you are an absolute serial killer if you play on jump. I feel like these 2 are the best shooting releases for the timing cue. You want to be on set point, which is when the ball is in your hand, like when you bring it above your head. And then you want to be on push, and that's when the ball is releasing from your hand, like when you're pushing the ball forward. These 2 settings are the ones that I've had the most success with. Like I said, I go back and forth. Some days or weeks I'll be playing on push, and then I'll go back to set point. Sometimes I'll be on set point, I'll go back to push. It really all depends. Right now I'm on set point, but like I said, I do go back and forth between set point and push. I would implore you to try all 4 or all 3. I really wouldn't implore you to try jump at all because that was just horrible. I was shooting air balls. I was shooting, super earlys. Like, jump is just like I would prefer you play on release before you touch jump. Jump is just awful. But again, keep in mind when I say don't listen to YouTubers, because you might be cooking on jump. Me personally, the game is too laggy, it's too many latency and stuff like that for me to really try to use when I jump as the visual cue. So I feel like set point and push is more forgiving. Really, push is more forgiving in my anecdotal experience, but it might be set point for you, it might be release for you, But do keep in mind that this is the most important setting. You can have a 99 3 ball, but if you can't get your visual cue down pat, none of that shit is going to matter. You can have a 99 3 ball, you can have 99 boost, you can have all lethal spots on every zone of the court, but unless you can time the shot, I don't know who that is or why you sent me a squad invite, but unless you can time your shot, it is not going to matter. Your attributes won't matter, your jump shot, your release, your base, your badges, your hot zones, your attributes, none of this shit is going to matter if you can't get your visual cue timing down. So that's why I said settings are the most important part when it comes to, just being a better shooter overall. Alright, so the next thing I want to talk about is attributes and badges, okay? Now, attributes and badges are extremely important to you, being a, very good shooter, above average shooter, whatever it is that you want to call it. Badges, attributes, like you could show me the best player in the world, whoever you deem the best player on NBA 2K24, and I promise you they're not shooting consistently with a 43 ball or a 53 ball or even a 63 ball, okay? When you start getting to a 70 and 80, then there's probably somebody out there that's wicked with a 73 ball or a 75 3 ball. But anything below that, and you start, lowering your chances of being consistent. Now, this right here was my very, very first build that I made on NBA 2K24. This build, literally, I had no knowledge of anything. This is just what I made out the gate. Now, obviously, looking at this build, there are certain things that I would change or tweak or make differently. Off the gate, I would probably remove that drive and dunk and the vertical. I probably would up my free throw a little bit. Probably lower my pass accuracy, some down to like an 87, and then obviously I will bump my speed with ball and my speed and acceleration, because I did miss out on like gold speed booster and gold blow by. But even then, I still cut up with this build. I still average like 18 a game on this build, and I still shoot like 53% from 3 on this build with an 86 3 ball. But that's the main concern that I want to talk about, is your attributes. You can't be coming in here with a 73 ball or a 65 3 ball, or some of y'all trying to shoot on a 76 3 ball. If you're not good enough to shoot with an 85 or an 86 or a 92, then you should not be trying to shoot with the 76, man. I'm sorry. Like, you need to adjust your ratings. You need to adjust your wingspan. You need to make a new build. You need to do something. But there's a lot of you trying to shoot with a 76 or a 74 or a 72 because you've seen your favorite streamer or your favorite YouTuber who has like 1,000 hours already logged on this game, who have spent way more time timing jump shots and shooting jump shots than you, and you're trying to mimic what they're doing, and you don't have the same skill as them. You know what I'm saying? It would be like as if I went to a basketball court and I tried to mimic LeBron James. Like, I'm not LeBron James. Like, never mind I'm not 6'8", I'm only 6'1", but never mind that. Let's say you were 6'8", you don't have the same skill or talent as LeBron James for me to try to step on the court and do the same thing that LeBron does. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing applies to this. You aren't, you don't have the talent or the skill just yet to just try to mimic what your favorite player or streamer or whatever does. They play this game way more than you, okay? I promise you that. They're taking way more shots than you. They're putting in way more time shooting and practicing and all of that stuff and getting reps up and just shooting the ball than you. So they can afford to go to a 76 3 ball and probably shoot because they've spent enough time on this game to do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Attributes are very important, and badges are important too. You can't have all bronze badges with a 68 3 ball or something and expect, oh yeah, man, I'm going to shoot lights out. Your badges are extremely important And then we also have badge perks, floor setters as well too, to help you with, setting your badges so you don't have to worry about your badges dropping. You have performance multipliers that'll help you, level up or whatever and get your badges faster based on, your grade and whether you win and if you're playing tough opponents or not. We have badge perks that'll help with, grinding out badges, not losing badge progression, doing drills, and then even playing online in the winner circle and stuff. So you have a bevy of things at your, discretion that you can use to not only make your player better, but also get your badges up and stuff. So do keep that in mind. Oh, why can't I hit? But you're shooting with like bronze open looks. Now this build I only get silver, and I still shoot like 53%, and majority of my badges are silver on this build. But at the time when the game first came out, I was struggling as well too, and that's the reason why I made so many builds with a 92 3-ball, because I felt like I needed a higher 3-ball when really I just needed to figure the game out. And I think that's the problem with a lot of people. They think that it's just going to come to them like that, and that's not the case this year with this game. You guys really need to sit down and put the time in, and I promise you, you will be a better shooter. But it definitely starts with the things that I'm telling you guys: your setting, your badges, your attributes, and all of those things. Now, in my opinion, the next thing that I'm going to be talking about with you guys is like the fourth most important thing. I mean, these all things can all be interjected, intertwined, however you like, or, whatever you deem the most important. But this is just me and what I consider important to being a better shooter or a good shooter, great shooter, whatever you want to call it. And that is that, shot selection. Shot selection and hotspots. So now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys my hotspots. So right here you see these are my hotspots. I do have some cold spots or whatever, but most of those cold spots come from, me trying to do like a euro or a layup, and they make me pull a mid-range. I'm kind of surprised that I don't have a cold spot in that mid-range right here on the wings, because that's usually where I do layups. I really try to do my euros from the wing and from the baselines. Or I'll do like a floater or whatever for the baseline. So that's why you see I have cold spots. But primarily, you see my shooting is all red. My hot spots are straight red across the board, on this build. Obviously, I need to redo my lethal spots, because I do think that my quest is available. Let me see. I think my quest is available for artist shooting, yeah. So I need to go redo that or whatever. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that, okay, now that's my shot chart, and you guys can see my shot chart. And like I said, shot selection. This is extremely important. Shot selection, hot spots. You need to get your hot spots, but more importantly, you need to be taking better shots. Now, I don't see how this is a cold spot. This is a cold spot, but I'm shooting 50%. So let me go to my map. So this right here is a cold spot, but I'm shooting, that's the city. I'm shooting 50% in that spot. I'm shooting 8 for 20, 40% in that spot. That ain't too good. I'm also shooting 48% in this spot, and somehow these two right here are cold spots, and I'm shooting 50% and 48%. And what was I shooting in this spot? I'm shooting 0 for 6, so that really should be a cold spot. I'm not gonna lie to you, that should be a cold spot. That is terrible. But you guys can see what my shot selection looks like. I'm 33 for 54 here, 61%. I'm 20 for 33 here, 60%. I'm 9 for 15 here, which is 60%. I'm 10 for 27 here, 37%, which isn't really good, but somehow still a hot spot. I don't know, go figure. And then I'm 21 for 36 here, 58%. Now, do keep in mind that these do reset based on the games that you play. So I think it takes like your last couple of games into consideration, or your last couple of shots into consideration. So do understand that these do reset. Now, I do know some people say that you can go into my career and just play on rookie and just shoot a bunch of shots and get all of this. You can have this entire thing red and then have your 2 lethal spots or whatever. But me personally, I don't really concern myself with that. Like, I mean, these will eventually go back to neutral or hot if they, if I manage to get them hot. But I'm not really too concerned about that, because I primarily play at the 3-point line, and then I'm playing at the rim which also doesn't make sense because down here I'm shooting 74%, which shows you guys I'm 57 for 77 when it comes to layups on my build, and somehow that's not a hot spot. I don't know. That's literally the best percentage on this map, 74%, and it's not a hot spot. Go figure. I don't get that. Don't get how these two are cold spots either. But we won't even discuss that. You know what I'm saying? The point that I'm trying to make is that you guys have to take good shot selections. You can see I primarily take good shot selections. Now, obviously, I'm shooting with a 72 3 ball and bronze midi magician because my midi magician is bronze. I don't really shoot mid-range shots like that. So you can see why, I have like a cold spot here and there in the mid-range or whatever. I don't really shoot the mid-range shot. But my point is shot selection is very important. You can't be shooting contested as fuck shots, shooting from, pulling from deep, from limitless, and you got a 76 3 ball or whatever. You just have to take smart shots. Hot spots also matter. Make sure that you do your challenge. I'm trying to figure out where it's at. Right here is the art of school, art of shooting or whatever. Right here, I'll zoom in. It's right here next to the train station for City East, and you go here and you do your drills, and that will help you with getting your hot spots. If you have neutral spots, you can shoot that and make them spots neutral. Me personally, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't change those cold spots to neutral or anything like that. I would literally take those spots and shoot here and here on the wing and make those lethal spots. Or some people like to shoot corners. I usually don't waste my spots on the corners. I usually go wing and key or wing and wing. It's really up to you. If you are a big man and you have a 70-something 3 ball and you're like, you only shoot corners, then by all means, use your hot spots on corners. But I feel like there's more boost that stack towards the corner shots. You have corner specialists. When you shoot on the wings, you're only going to have open looks. You're going to have catch and shoot. And you might have a boost from Dimer. You might have a boost from Agent 3 or something like that. All of those things will stack. But what won't stack, you'll have an extra badge with corner specialists if you're shooting in the corner shot. So I feel like that's the main reason why, catch and shoot, open looks, corner specialists, all of these badges, that's going to stack with the corner shot. So that's the main reason why I don't really use corner my lethal spots on my corners. I usually use them for the wings or, like I said, the top of the key or whatever. That's just me. But do keep in mind that this is very important. I know so many people that don't have their hot spots, don't have their lethal spots. Then they wonder why they're missing, or better yet, they done shot so many bad shots that they now have cold spots, and then they're like, why can't I hit? I'm wide open. I got Hall of Fame this, I got gold that. But then you look at their shot chart and they got nothing but cold spots or whatever. So it's like, please make sure you get your hot spots, your lethal spots, but more importantly, please make sure that you're taking good shots, you're taking good looks, you're wide open or open, you're not shooting contested. If you know that you can barely shoot a catch and shoot shot, then don't be trying to shoot fades in the corner like you see your favorite streamer or how you see your friend doing. Okay, you should be focusing on just catching the ball and shooting the ball. Once you get the catching and shooting down, then you can shoot off the dribble, and then you can shoot, fades and spins and hop steps and step back jumpers and stuff. But you shouldn't be trying to do all of these fancy, explosive, harder to make shots, more difficult shots, and then knowing that you can barely shoot a catch and shoot shot. So do keep this in mind when, trying to get your percentages up and stuff like that. Alright guys, so now we're at the final part of the video that I want to talk about with you guys, and that is going to be your jumper and, finally, practice and reps. Now, honestly, I'm not going to tell you guys, like I said, I'm not going to tell you what my jumper is. If you guys leave enough comments saying like, yo, drop your jumper, whatever, I'll tell you guys what my jumper is if you really want to know what my jumper is. And I'm just showing my percentages so you guys can see what my percentages or whatever like that on this build or whatever. But if you really want to, know what my jumper is that I use, then drop comments, drop a like. and I'll probably drop like a jump shot video and stuff. You know, I'll give you guys some other jumpers that I played around with that, you know, I kind of like before I found this jumper, if you guys really want to know. But personally, I don't think that that's going to help you guys. I think that you guys need to get in the lab and come up with your own jumper and figure it out, you know, what works for you. And the most important thing that I can tell you guys when it comes to coming up with a jumper, a custom jumper, is that you just need to come up with a jumper that you feel comfortable shooting with. Okay, the jumper that I had last year had like a D- or a D+ in time and stability, or whatever that slot is that's called time and stability now. It wasn't like a jumper that probably was going to green a lot or whatever, but and you know, my release height was like a B. My release speed was like an A or an A+ or A-, so it was an A something, and then my defensive immunity was like a B+ or an A- as well too. So it wasn't like it was A's or A+ across the board, but it was a jumper that I was comfortable with shooting, and that's why I was able to green, and that's why I was able to shoot almost 80% from 3. I was shooting like 76% from 3 last year at the last season of NBA 2K23, and the same thing this year. Okay, I'm able to shoot 60%, and it's climbing, it's getting better. Some builds I'm shooting 67%, some builds I'm shooting 65. On this build, I think I'm shooting like 53% or something like that, and then other builds I'm shooting like 51% or 55%. So, you know, my percentages, it sways based on the 3 that I have, the 3-ball rating I have as well, and the badges that I have. On this build, you know, I only have an 86.3, and I'm shooting with like silver badges, but on my other builds, I have a 92.3. I'm shooting with gold badges. Then I have a build with a 96.3. I'm shooting with Hall of Fame badges on that build. So, you know, my percentages fluctuate based on the build that I play on and whatnot. But my point is, I used my own custom jumper. I figured it out, and I played around with jumpers until I found something that I was comfortable with, and that's what I implore you guys to do. Okay, yeah, you can look up this jumper, that jumper, whatever 2K Lab says, whatever this YouTuber says, but ultimately, they're not going to be playing the game for you. You're going to be playing the game, so you need to go with what you can time. You know, I've seen people, oh, this is the fastest jumper, but you may not be able to time the fastest jumper, so you might need something a little bit slower, so you can tweak that and make it slower, you know. Also, practice, okay? Like, I see so many people complain about not being able to shoot, and then so many dudes also are saying like, oh, well, I got a wife and kids and family and a job, and I gotta go to school. And yeah, we know everybody else here has a job and a wife and kids and family and school, and everybody else has priorities and responsibilities that they have to do, but they also still make time to play the game. You need to practice. You need to get reps in, okay? Just like anything else, if you want to be good at it, you have to do it a lot. You know, if you wanted to be a good singer, you wouldn't just, you know, sing whenever you can sing, right? No, you would practice singing. If you wanted to be good at playing guitar, you wouldn't just, oh, I'll just, you know, when I'll grab a guitar and play, you know, on Fridays or something like that. Like, you'll never get better at playing guitar if you don't actually put the time in to play and get better at, you know, the guitar. Same thing with this. I'm not saying you need to put in 1,000 hours or 2,000 hours, or that you need to play 24/7 and no life the game. No, not by any means. But you do need to put the time in and actually get the reps. And the one thing that I need to tell you guys to stop doing, that I see so many people doing, and this is going to be awful, and stop doing this. Stop going to the Gatorade facility to try to practice your jump shot. The latency in that shit is insane, okay? Stop going to the Gatorade facility. That shit is not going to help you. You want to know where the best place is for you to shoot? Okay, it's not my career. Okay, it's not NBA games. It's not that street ball shit that I see so many people talking about and playing. It's not that. All right, it's not the starting 5 or whatever. The best place for you to practice, honestly, is whatever mode you actually play. So if you play rec like me, the best place for you to go to practice is to go to the damn rec, okay? If you want to be able to practice in or shoot well in park because you play park, go play park games. If you play theater, go play theater, okay? If you play pro-am, go play pro-am. Why? Because the latency, the little millisecond delay or whatever, the latency, the delay, the lag, whatever it is that you want to call it, the ping or whatever, is different from mode to mode, okay? The millisecond ping delay or whatever in rec isn't the same as in Pro-Am. It's not the same in Pro-Am as it is in Park. Park is not the same as theater, so on and so on and so forth. It's going to be different pings, different latency, different delays, and it varies from game to game. So this game you might be on think of it like Call of Duty. One game you might be on a 30 ping. This next game you might be on a 60 ping. You know, that game you might be on a 140 ping and the shit is lagging all over the place. Then this game you might be on a 90 ping. It varies game to game. The same thing with 2K. Okay, like the ping, the latency, the delay, all of that shit varies from game to game, and it also varies from mode to mode as well too. So do keep that in mind. So if you want my honest opinion, I really think that if you really want to learn how to shoot, you need to just get your reps up in whatever mode it is that you play. Now, that doesn't mean to go into the rec and just pull every time you get the ball. No, we talked about this with shot selection. You still need to be taking good shots. You still need to be taking smart shots and open good looks. But you do want to play whatever mode it is and take those shots in that mode, because guess what? You're going into the Gatorade facility, but you're not going to be shooting in the Gatorade facility when you play in Park or Rec. You're going into the rec, you're going into street ball, you're going into the career games or NBA games. You're not going to be shooting in career or street ball or whatever it is that you're doing. So if you want to really, develop your shot and really learn your shot and your cue and all of that stuff, yeah, you can learn it in career just so you can learn the release or the cue or whatever. But you need to go online and actually play in the modes that you want. Hopefully, this, video, I'm hoping this video gets a lot of views. I'm hoping this video gets a lot of likes, because I've seen so many people complaining about shooting in this game, from the YouTube comments to the Twitch comments to Twitter to, the NBA 2K subreddit on Reddit. Like, I see everywhere people complain about shooting and saying how awful shooting is and how inconsistent it is and how they can't figure it out. And it's like, eventually it will click for you. Eventually it clicked for me. It didn't click for me until sometime in October, the first week of October. So that means the game came out September 7th, 8th. That means I was shooting I was no money spent, so I probably spent the first 2 weeks of the game not playing online. So I still was shooting straight fucking bricks the third week of September, the fourth week of September, the first week of October. So damn near a whole month I was shooting like shit. Just like y'all, whoever clicked on this video, I was shooting like some bullshit until it finally clicked for me. So hopefully these tips that I'm giving you guys in this video will help you guys with becoming better shooters. Cause the shit that I'm seeing in the rec, I primarily play solo rec, and the things that I see in the rec, dudes going 0 for 7, 0 for 6, 2 for 15, 2 for 14, bro. It is absolutely abysmal, bro. All right, abysmal. So remember these tips, man, and I promise you guys are going to be shooting well, man. Your settings, your controller settings, your cue, your visual cue, making sure you have the attributes and badges that you personally need to be able to shoot. So don't be listening to this dude who shoots with a 76 or a 72. If you need a 92, make a build with 92 3 ball. If you need a 95 3 ball, guess what? Then your ass should be making a build with a 95 3 ball. Now, if you could hit with a 76 or a 70 or a 63 ball, then by all means make a build with a 63 ball. But if you know that you shooting straight bricks and you got an 85, don't go down to no 76. If you know you shooting 32% from 3, then you should not be dropping your 3-point down on any build. You should be going up. Okay, same thing with shot selection. Take smart, wide open, good look shots. Stop shooting contested. Stop doing these stupid ass fades and these spin shots and these step backs and all of this shit. If you can't hit a standstill catch and shoot shot in a corner or on a wing in a hot spot, then you have no goddamn business shooting no fades, no turnarounds, no spins, no hop backs, no spin backs, no other whatever bullshit ass spin fancy shots. You have no business shooting those shots, okay? And then also remember to get your practice and your reps in. If you want to be good at the game and you want to be a good shooter, then you actually have to play the game. Stop making excuses. Stop saying that because you got a wife and the kids that you can't play the game. Like, you can make time to play the game, okay? If you got school, hey, man, come home from school, do your homework first, and then get on the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, whenever you have free time, you should be using that free time. If you really care about getting better at the game, then you should be using that free time. You know, oh, well, you know what? Maybe I won't go, you know, hoop or play basketball today. Maybe I won't, you know, go to the movies today. Maybe I'll just stay home for an hour or two and get some shots in or play a game of rec or something like that, and then go to the park and then go to the movies and then go do that other thing or whatever. You know what I mean? Because that's just how this game works, unfortunately. You know, in previous games, we didn't have to do this, but that is how this game works, unfortunately. And, you know, that's just what it is if you want to actually be good at this game, man. So, there you have it. I'm hoping this video helps you guys with being better shooters. It's been your boy Lit. I'm out, y'all. Peace.